Not this one. وصالة ها؟
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد المحمود الأحمد أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين. قال الله الحكيم في محكم كتابه ومتقن خطابه: قال إني مهاجر إلى ربي. As you know, during my speeches previous nights, I was trying to make connection between message of all prophets to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and that this goal and this message should be continued after martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We should not just praise Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We have to implement the goal of Imam Hussein alayhi salam if we want to make service to him and to his cause. So the reason that our majalis actually recommended to hold is that we have to remind ourselves to the actually goal of Imam Hussein. And you see that his goal, his mission actually are identical to the goal of all prophets. And we usually take the first example, which is Ibrahim alayhi salam. You see, Ibrahim actually was promoting the concept of sacrifice in order to establish the foundation of Tawheed. And today I was listening to the speech of one scholar. He was saying that the difference between Christianity and Islam is that Christianity is emphasizing on sacrifice, but Islam is emphasizing on Tawheed. But according to my understanding, we cannot separate the concept of sacrifice from the notion of Tawheed, because manifestation of Tawheed is sacrifice. If we actually just look at the mission of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, in fact, he established the notion of Tawheed through the concept of sacrifice. You cannot have the state of Tawheed without sacrifice. That's why last time I was saying that when you say La ilaha illallah, the sacrifice is implied in the notion of La ilaha illallah. And also when you say وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ, it means that when you are like Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was between his son, the love for his son, And the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he had to prevail the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over his love to his son. And this is the sacrifice which is related to the Tawheed. We cannot separate it from each other. And also, there is another thing which we can see in actually the mission of Imam Hussein, which is similar to Prophet Ibrahim. You see, Prophet Ibrahim, in order to promote the state of Tawheed, he had to actually immigrate from his homeland to many areas. This is what he said according to this verse of Quran on behalf of Ibrahim. He said, "Inni muhajirun ila Rabbi." I am immigrant towards my Lord. You see, in Quran, mostly when it talks about immigration, it is coupled with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Immigration to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not immigration to Europe, to the United States. Yes, it could be if it is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, so this is the first verse. Inni muhajirun ila Rabbi. I am muhajir. Muhajir in Arabic means immigrant. I am muhajir to my Rabbi. In another verse, Ibrahim says, قال إني ذاهب إلى ربي سيهدين. I'm going to my Lord. When he left his homeland, which was full of actually a state of polytheism, he said that I am doing hijrah to my Lord. إني ذاهب إلى ربي. I'm going to my Lord. And he is going to guide me. What you can understand from this verse of Quran. I'm going to give you some other verses. You see that immigration is so important. If you're staying in anywhere where will endanger your faith, would be against the establishment of Tawheed, you should not stay there anymore. You have to move. You have to do the hijrah. And this means that if you cannot keep your state of Tawheed, you have to move. It means that the land, the country, has no important essence in Islam if your land, your country will not preserve your faith. It means that if your faith is in danger and you are between your country and your faith, Quran says that you have to prevail the faith over your homeland. You have to move. And this is what Quran says about the people of Mecca. You see that the people of Mecca, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered them to migrate, to immigrate to Medina, some of Muslims, they accepted to go when they become Muhajirin in Medina, and many of them, they didn't go. Why? Because they were clinging to their lands. They said, oh, this is our homeland. We cannot leave it. We have home here. We have friends here. We have relatives here. We cannot leave. What happened? When there was a fight between army of Islam and the army of Kuffar, this Kuffar, they confiscated the homes of these people. They said, either you are participating in our army, or you are going to confiscate your properties. And they participated. They were Muslims. They participated in the army of Kuffar and they got killed. And this is the verse of Quran about these people. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, الَّذِينَ تَتَوَفَّاهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ ظَالِمِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. When the angels, they took the soul of these people who oppressed their souls. قَالُوا فِيمَ كُنْتُمْ. How did you live? قَالُوا كُنَّا مُسْتَضْعَفِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. We were weak. We were not able to encounter this kuffar. That's why we were actually in the battlefield with them. Then the answer of angels would be, قالوا ألم تكن أرض الله واسعة. The land of Allah is so spacious. فَتُهَاجِرُوا فِيهَا. Why you didn't do immigration to the Holy Land in order to keep your faith, in order to establish the notion of Tawheed in your hearts? You have to move. Your land has no sanctity, your faith has. This is the issue. So that's why when I am talking about, inshallah, I'm going to continue this, discussion, that this is a very important thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that you have to choose here. This is the sacrifice. This is the sacrifice which is compatible with the sacrifice of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Okay, so then you see that, as I said, all prophets made immigration. Prophet Musa alayhi salam, he had to leave Egypt, is that correct? With his people from Egypt to Madian. And even Nuh alayhi salam might immigrated by the ark, is that correct or not? This is the kind of immigration by Nuh alayhi salam. And Isa alayhi salam, Masih, you know what is one of the meanings of Masih means? To travel. One meaning is ointment, but other actually meaning of the Masih is to do siyahat. Siyahat, I don't know if you heard about the word of siyahat. Siyahat means to travel, to be sa'ih. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was not immigrating from Mecca to Medina. He was not able to establish the Islamic community in Medina. He had to immigrate to another country, to another land. If Prophet Ibrahim was not immigrating from Iraq to Mecca, you were not doing the Hajj ceremony today. You see that? This is the relation. You see that how immigration is important. Why it is important? Because it is establishing Tawheed. In Quran, it's not saying that you are immigrating for worldly purposes. Hijra ila Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what Ibrahim says. Inni muhajirun ila Rabbi. In another verse, Quran says that وَمَنْ يَخْرُجْ مِنْ بَيْتِهِ مُهَاجِرًا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. Whoever actually, departs his home as an immigrant to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his prophet, ثُمَّ يُدْرِكْهُ الْمَوْتِ, but he was overtook by the death, فَقَدْ وَقَعَ أَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ. His reward would be on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm reciting for you these verses because I want just to show you that in every verse I'm saying hijrat is coupled with the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muhajiran ilallah, to do hijrat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are coming to the United States because this is hijrat to Allah, your hijrat is sacred. Nowadays you see that, if the Muslims were not immigrating to the United States, would you have this madness tonight here in this place? No. How many centers now we have in the United States? They say about 3,000 Islamic centers we have in the United States, and all of this are by the virtue of immigration. I'm not saying that we are employing the immigration to the fullest benefit. No, but at the same time, we have to know that immigration has potential to spread the word of Tawheed. And this is the message of immigration. That's the same thing for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Now, inshallah, I'm going to continue to talk about how immigration of Imam Hussein alayhi salam was important to spread the message of all prophets. How immigration of Imam Hussein is inheritance of immigration of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When we say Assalamu alayka ya warisa Ibrahim Khalilullah, remember the immigration of Imam Hussein was inherited from immigration of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And it was inherited from immigration of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When you say Assalamu alayka ya warisa Muhammadin Habibillah, when you say Assalamu alayka ya warisa Musa Kalimullah, remember the immigration of Musa alayhi salam, how it is related to the immigration of Imam Hussein salawatullah alayhi. Even I was actually trying to make comparison that, you know, when people they are immigrant, they are so nervous. They are actually they are in a state of anxiety sometimes. You know, that's very difficult. The process of immigration is sometimes difficult, and Prophet was not exempt too. You see that Quran talks about immigration of Prophet when he was in the cave, and kuffar were actually following and pursuing Prophet, and this was a very difficult situation. But what Quran says? Quran says that فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ سَكِينَتَهُ عَلَيْهِ وَأَيَّدَهُ بِجُنُودٍ لَمْ تَرَوْهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually put down the serenity, the state of tranquility on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The state of sakina. No, this is the verse of Quran. فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ سَكِينَتَهُ عَلَيْهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descended His sakina, His serenity, the peace of spirit on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we know that there is a chapter in Quran, according to Hadith, it is actually a sign for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Anyone remember which chapter of Quran is that? They said the chapter of Al-Fajr. You know? Why Fajr? Because Fajr says in this verse of Quran, Ya ayyatuhan nafs al-mutma'innah, irji'i ila rabbiki raziyatan marziyah. Oh, the soul which has the state of certainty, return to your Lord. You are content, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is content with you too. So this is the verse which is for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Why? Because after actually the calamities were pouring on Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he was saying that Ilahi rizan biqaza'ik. I am in a state of contentment for what happened to me. Tasliman li amrik. I am submitting myself fully to your order. So this is the Tawheed. This means that he was in a state of serenity, divine serenity. You see that for Prophet is وَأَنزَلَ سَكِينَتَهُ عَلَيْهِ. For Imam Hussein is يَا أَيَّتُهَا النَّفْسُ الْمُطْمَئِنَّةِ ارْجِعِي إِلَىٰ رَبِّكِ رَاضِيَةً مَرْضِيَّةً. That one was for the immigration of Prophet, and this is for the immigration of Imam Hussein salawatullahi alayhi. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to, inshallah ar-Rahman, give us opportunity to, inshallah, work on the path of Imam Hussein salawatullahi alayhi. You see that the reason that many people, they cannot reach the status of Imam Hussein, or they cannot follow Imam Hussein alayhi salam, is related to one thing, to the state of shirk, to the state because of lack of tawheed. lack of tawheed and will lead to lot of problems. You know, lack of tawheed, when you have the lack of tawheed, it means that you are, clinging to the earth. You are not capable to move. You cannot ascend to the virtues. And Imam Hussein salam just made an example that you can do it. You know, many people say, oh, it is very difficult to make our souls. No, this is the example. You know, the example of Imam Hussein will encourage everyone to follow his path. And that's why we are commemorating, the martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. As I said many times, that one of the sacrifices of Prophet Ibrahim was related to the notion of salat. Why salat is so important? Because salat is always reminding us we should detach ourselves from the bondage of slavery, a slavery of being a slave of this world. Salat will tell us, to go up. And so that's why Ibrahim, he didn't do salat, dua that, Ya Allah, make my actually progeny wealthy. Give me actually home. Give me 500 camels. No. He did this dua. Rabbi ij'alni muqim as-salat. Ya Allah, oh my Lord, make me among of those who are offering prayers. Why? Because prayer will keep you from the state of distortion, from the path of Tawheed. If you want to be always on the path of Tawheed, the real salah, not the superficial namaz, which is I just, do the namaz, but my mind is so preoccupied with other stuff. And I just say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I don't know how I did it. I just doing this by the virtue of habit. Salat is, the time of Salat, the Quran talks has the quality and potential that to prevent you from committing sin. This is what Quran says. Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. That salat is capable to help you to keep yourself away from shamefulness, from evil, from sin. So if you see that your salat has no such quality, then your salat is not a real salat. So try to, inshallah rahman, that's why Quran doesn't say you do the salat. Quran says iqamatu salat, aqimu salat, establish the salat. Establishing salat means that to give the salat what it deserves. One is that to be in a state of mindfulness when you're offering the salat, inshallah rahman. So inshallah, just recite after me this verse of Quran in order to be like Ibrahim alayhi salam and like Imam Hussein alayhi salam. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. صلى الله على محمد وعلى اللهم صل على محمد.
Thank you, Madam Tarafti, for this special time for your. Thank you.
ये हमारा आपका तो मसला नहीं है। अच्छा ठीक है, ओके ठीक है। और किसी से पूछना नहीं चाहता बस है ना, बस सही। हाँ जी, आप शुरू करेंगे तो बड़े रहेंगे, जुम्मा देखना शुरू करता पहले शुरू करेंगे आज सही। Yes, this man. Thank you. Only this two. Okay. Thank you.
No, it's just me. It's motion. عليك ما شوي. بطلع شوي. Three? Oh, one. That's a code. 1 hour code.
मराना आ गए टाइम से घर पे आ गए आपके? मैं जाकर उनसे बात हुई चमन भाई से।
नहीं